Parenting ain't easy. And one of the things that makes it more challenging is trying to give your kids enough information without giving them too much information. It's like, how do you have the sex talk, right? Most people have some sort of contemplation about how they're going to have this conversation with their kids. But my feeling is if you've been talking to your kids since they were little about their body parts and you talk to them at their age level, those questions will come up from your kids when they're somewhere between 7 and 9 years old. Like, how did the baby get here? They see people who are pregnant, they have curiosity, they want to know what to do. So, in the spur of the moment, they will turn to you and you'll have to answer that question. Interestingly enough, the way I chose to do it, at least for my oldest child, is I recruited friends because I wasn't going to be alone having this conversation. So, what we decided, and there was a group of about a dozen moms, we got together and we said we're going to build a whole day around our daughters and we're going to teach them everything that they need to know to be prepared for that next step of life. We all had daughters between the ages of 9 and I think the oldest was 17. And what we did was the moms, we met like once a month for 3 months to plan what this day was going to look like. And we called it Welcome to Womanhood. So what we did was we divided the labor. I don't have any problems talking about sex. I was a sexual health advocate. I've always been into women's health. So for me, I volunteered to do what they called the hard part. But to me, I just felt like it was a natural conversation. Someone else had a sister who was a police officer. And so she actually incorporated a component on self-defense. Another sister taught our daughters about preparation for prayer and the cleansing process called wudu in Arabic, that means ablution in English, and also ghusl, which is what we do, which is the whole body bath to prepare after your menses is over or after you've been with your husband, to be clean again so that you can, rejoin the ranks in prayer. So those were 3 of the components, and then I think we had like a craft activity and another component. I think it was about how you view and understand womanhood. That's right, because we came up with some games so that we could get their feedback on what they expected, and then we had the mothers share what they expected. The big piece that we all enjoyed was that we put together a basket. Every one of the moms contributed one thing to the basket, and each girl got it. So, for instance, there was a book called The Miracle of Life by Fatima Dioyen, and I purchased 12 copies of the book because we had 12 girls, and each girl got that book in her basket. Another mother had a cute pack to hold your, personal hygiene items. And so that the girls, if they needed sanitary napkins while they're at school, they could just tuck the cute pack into their book bag. So every girl's basket got one gift from each mom. And then you, as the mother of your daughter, could add things to your daughter's basket. And of course, we decorated it real nice. Wrapped it up, bows, ribbons, and everything. So we tried to make it a positive experience for our daughters, and I really feel like it worked. On the day of the event, all the girls were there. We sat in a circle, moms amongst girls, they sat wherever they wanted, but we were all together. And we opened with the moms sharing what they thought becoming a woman would mean to them when they were 12, 14, whatever years old. And some of the things that they had fears or worries about. Then we asked the girls to share the same thing so that they got a chance to hear what their mother's side of the story was like when she was their age, and then we got a chance to hear what some of their concerns were. From there, we moved into the talk, but again, group setting. So I had pictures to help them explain. We gave them also in the basket a mirror because we explained to them when I did that part of the presentation that it's important for you to look at yourself when you're healthy. And I encourage them to take a look at their bodies so that they know what it looks like. So then if something is off, at least they had a baseline. They knew where they started and what it should look like. So we talked about touch, caring for yourself, and then of course I gave imagery because I wanted them to understand what was going on inside their bodies, male and female. So talked about the reproductive system of the male and the reproductive system of the female, and then how the two come together to produce a baby. Particularly spent a lot of time on hygiene and personal care, and your menstrual cycle, and how different and unique it is for each woman. On average, you could say it's 28 days, but one mother volunteered, I don't have a cycle like that. I have what you call irregular cycles. So we talked about that. We talked about regular cycles. We talked about fertility, but we gave them room to ask questions. And because we were all together, because it was a group environment, and we had already done like some little icebreaker games and stuff, and we were laughing. So by the second presentation, which was about the major issue that we wanted to cover, which was your body and how it changes and reproduction and sex, we were all a lot more relaxed, and it was fun. It was fun for the girls, it was fun for the moms, and I think to me that was probably the PowerPoint, right? Like that was what made it so special, is that each mom didn't have to confront this issue by herself, and none of the girls had to have that conversation while sitting there staring at their mom either. And then in a group setting, they felt more relaxed to ask questions because it wasn't like they were directing a question toward their mom. And we also used the fishbowl, if I'm not mistaken. And if we didn't, it's a good idea to use one. But where the girls can throw questions into a bowl and then we answer them. But I think that came later in the day after the karate self-defense component. All in all, it was a great way, I feel, and definitely all of us that participated felt, to bring this conversation to our daughters in a healthy way that encouraged them to feel good about their bodies, that taught them at a level that they were ready for. Because even though our youngest was 9, her sister had gotten her period around that same age, so it was expected that she was probably going to get, because she was developing a little early like her sister. So I think that when you approach something like this and you do it in a group format, it's a lot more relaxed, and you and your daughter could probably get a lot more out of it. So I'm just putting this out here to share, because sometimes this can be a difficult conversation as a one-on-one, and it doesn't have to be.